Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Force with some more Hearthstone. In today's Spotlight, we will be taking a look at the Shockadin deck created by Holy Rock of Hearthstone. The goal of this deck is to Zerg the board early and overwhelm your opponent. We do that with some 1 and 2 drop minions such as the Argent Squire and Leper Gnome. We've got board clear for other aggro decks or large threats with the Equality Consecration combo, and then some mid-game finishers like Avenging Wrath and Leeroy Jenkins. Let's go ahead and take a look at the deck in action. It has been quite a while since we've taken a look at an aggressive Paladin deck. I really felt like they fell out of vogue, but I'm pretty happy to see that this one appears to be doing fairly well. The guide that I got this from said that there's over 21 legend players who are using some variant of this deck, so that's pretty exciting. I decided to keep the Leper Gnomes early. Given my opponent, if he does decide to shapeshift into it, he'll be taking a total of 4 damage, so that's pretty solid, and you know, either way in this matchup, he's gonna have a relatively easy time of getting rid of the Leper Gnomes, so I don't think it's that bad of an idea to just try to push through a little bit of extra damage early, potentially before he's able to deal with it. I think right now he's probably considering whether he's gonna coin to shapeshift or Wrath for 1 damage with a coin. But, you know, either way, that'll be using his coin early as opposed to a little bit later on to get out one of his big threats. And the big threats that he's gonna potentially play that we would have to worry about are those taunts, and the Ironbeark Owl is gonna help us deal with those. A lot of the times with this deck, you are looking to go for the opponent's face. This is an aggressive deck, sort of a rushdown style, although it is a bit different than ones of the Paladin variety that I've played in the past. Namely, we're not looking at swords in this deck to pump up our minions, but we are looking at long turns from our opponents. I don't quite know what he's doing. At first I thought he was considering the coin, and now I just think he's been AFK, although we just saw him move his mouse around. Okay, so he's gonna finally go with the coin after waiting to the last possible second. Maybe he's trolling me. That's certainly a possibility. All right, so there's the attack. He's gonna take that 4 damage. Next turn, we're gonna play that other Leper Gnome. Get that other 4 damage through to his face. I'm just glad he finally went. I really thought that we were dealing with the AFK player. So here's our second Leper Gnome. We could have also just gone with the Reinforce, but I really want him to use his turn for another shapeshift and to take that 4 damage. However, it is mitigated by the 1 armor that they got, so at the end of the day, last turn he took 3 damage, and this turn, if he does this again, he'll take 3 damage. Or, of course, we could see him Wrath. However, I'm assuming, unless he just drew into that Wrath, that he would have used a Wrath for 1 last turn. So this is the focus. This is what we're gonna do. Going straight for his face, straight for his face, straight for his face. The Wolfriders are very nice here as well, even though, again, he's got an easy way of dealing with them. He's gonna take that damage 2 times, because there's the first Wolfrider attack, and then if he attacks into it, he takes it a 2nd time from that. All right, so there it is. Now he's down to 24. We're gonna throw down the Wolfrider. His turns are really, he must be doing something. He must have something else going on. I always default, in such a situation, I always default to saying that his mother is telling him to take out the trash. It's so trolly, and the comment section will be furious with me, but it's okay, it's humorous, and I'm just here to have a good time. So there we go, we did the 3 damage. He's gonna take another 3 here. Mitigated by 1 of those armor, but now he's down to 19. This turn I think we'll do a Wolfrider plus an Argent Squire. At this point, we've got the potential, however, for him to swipe, and we could even see him do a swipe to our face. He would get rid of the shield, he'd get rid of that. It doesn't really matter though. We want to push, we want to keep pushing him. And really a big, so there it is, swipe to the face, pretty much as anticipated. Are we gonna see wow, he's gonna innervate to get rid of that last one. Okay, fair enough. I mean, think about his position right now though. He's got a lot of cards in hand. We've been doing what we want to do with this deck, but he certainly has hand advantage at the moment, so. All right, so let's see here. We've got the Avenging Wrath. We can't quite play that right now. We could just Truesilver Champion for his face, and that way we can Avenging Wrath next turn. Now that could set up for bring him potentially really, really low, as we have another 4 damage, bring him down to 8, and then, you know, if he didn't play a creature right now, which would be bonkers because he will, we would have the win next turn. But he is going to play a creature, so we won't quite have the win. Now let's take a look here. He's going to Mark of the Wild. I might just attack into that. Let's see here. We could just silence that, actually, and go this way. Now, the scary thing is if he plays another taunt, which he very well may play next turn.
For justice.
But we're just gonna go for it anyways. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna attack straight his face. So a big concern right now is if he plays his 4/6 taunt, very good chance that that is going to happen. Let's see what happens. Oh, no, there's a swipe. Okay. So, if he doesn't play okay, so this is gonna be tough. There's a second Mark of the Wild, giving him that 4/5 creature again. We've got the Avenging Wrath, but the odds of us killing him with that are pretty slim. I think we're just gonna Divine Favor right now and we'll hold on to that Avenging Wrath. There's a second Avenging Wrath. This is very good. This is very good. I'm feeling pretty confident about this. Now, he's not going to have another swipe. I don't think I want to play the Abusive Sergeant right now. It would have been great if we had a charge minion to play that with, but we're just going to leave that as is. Next turn, we can Abusive Sergeant one of these. He's not likely to be able to kill both of these right now. We can Abusive Sergeant one of these, attack into that, and then do the second, then do our first Avenging Wrath. We've got the second Avenging Wrath to follow up. However, we're still probably going to see some creatures, obviously from him. We expect some minions, and the big concern will be more taunt minions. Although Avenging Wrath will ignore that taunt, it's a sort of a flip of the coin. So, all right, so there's another taunt minion, big ol' 4/6, and then let's see what he's going to do. Is he going to shapeshift? Yes, he is. He'll be attacking into one of them and probably removing the shield with the other, or he'll just go for my face. If I were him, I'd probably go for my face. Oh, he decides to attack into that. Very interesting. Okay. All right, well, here is a Leeroy Jenkins that we could throw down. We could use that to get rid of that taunt. That would give him the 2/1/1s, but I think that might be worth getting rid of his taunt for.
I wonder.
Yeah, the Avenging Wrath is just such a coin flip. I mean, we could potentially win with just an Avenging Wrath right now. Why don't we just Avenging Wrath right now? We'll save the Leeroy potentially for next turn. We'll see what we get with the Avenging Wrath, though. We get him down to 2. Okay. And then I can go like this and get rid of that taunt. Okay. I don't think that's too shabby. He's now down to 2. We've got the Leeroy. We've got the second Avenging Wrath, which could very well just result in the win next turn, because all we need is 2 of those 8 to go through. We've got the Leeroy to push past, so let's see, he is going to do 2 damage to that. Alright, so we can take a chance with the Avenging Wrath. Oh gosh, what else is he doing here? Oh, he's doing this to get the extra armor. Yeah. I don't know that it's worth taking a chance. We need 3 damage to go through. I don't know that it's worth taking that chance. We might just Leeroy. Oh, you know what? Here we go. This will be the win. This is the win right here. This is it. There's the equality. Pulling out the top deck for the win. There you go. Shockadin deck. Let's go ahead and take a quick look now at the deck list. So for Holy Rock's Shockadin Paladin deck, once more the goal, Zerg the board early, overwhelm your opponent. Let's take a look at the deck list. Actually, quite a heavy amount of spells and some interesting card choices and some interesting omissions as well. But the deck does appear to be doing fairly well. We've got 2 of the Blessing of Mights to pump up your minions. That is a permanent pump up, which can be very nice. You know, it's an interesting matchup though, because you pretty much have a lot of 1 health minions. You basically have a lot of minions that are going to die. They're gonna die fairly soon. So it's sort of a rare scenario where your Blessing of Might is gonna stay on the creature for very long, because the creature is likely to die very quickly. But as a surprise, you know, 9 damage with a 5 mana Leeroy Jenkins plus a Blessing of Might, or you know, 1 more mana for 3 more damage for surprise 12, that can be a nice little finisher right there at nearly 50% of your opponent's HP. So we've got 2 of the Blessing of Mights, we've got a single Noble Sacrifice, and the guide that I read for this This was primarily used to deal with big late game threats, giants, things like the Hellscream, you know, just any big late game threats that will attack you. Noble Sacrifice can help save you and or your minions. The Abusive Sergeant for a temporary pump up, allowing for trade ups or just pushing through extra damage. And we've got a few of the one-drop minions here, the Argent Squire, single Elven Archer, 2 of the Leper Gnomes, 2 Worgen Infiltrators, because it's a 2-1 for 1, and obviously that stealth saves it for the turn that you immediately play it, allowing you after that turn 1 to follow it up potentially with a Blessing of Might, or follow it up with an Abusive Sergeant. We have got the Equality. This is going to allow you to get rid of big threats from your opponent. It's actually one of the 2 cards that allowed us to win at the end of last game, but the other great thing is that you've got a lot of low cost minions, plus your hero power in creating a 1-1 token, that big creatures your opponent plays can be taken out by just playing Equality and then attacking into it. Or of course, we've got the Equality Consecration combo as a great board clear for your opponent. Bluegill Warrior, a 2-1 charge minion, the Ironbeark Owl for pushing through taunts. Divine Favor, you're dumping your hand very early in this game, so Divine Favor allows you to fill it back up. The Wolfrider as a charge minion. Truesilver Champion, sort of consider this a charge minion that will heal you when you attack with it. Consecration, again, part of that combo. Great when you're facing other aggro style decks or Zoo decks. Hammer of Wrath for extra damage plus the card draw, and then the Leeroy Jenkins and Avenging Wrath. These are great finishers, either or both of them potentially on turn 10. Alright guys, that is going to do it for taking a look at the Shockadin deck. We will be following this up with a gameplay video where we play a couple of games, see how it does. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for that next video. Also stay tuned for other great gaming coverage here on the channel. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. Keep watching and keep owning.